Good afternoon everybody, Sid here, Sid's repurposing. Just come out late in the afternoon to have a look at the veggie patch. We've been getting a little bit of rain, which has been really nice, so the silver beet's ticking along very nicely, and happy with that. I'm going to have to start harvesting. Got a few damaged leaves on some of them, and there's leaves on here that's ready to harvest for consumption too. So I have had a harvest from the garden already. I managed to harvest 6 lettuce leaves. So a little update on the patch that was decimated by the geese. So as I'd hoped, the beetroot does seem to be coming back. The replanted cabbage, collie and broccoli are doing well. The onions, there's still some there. Jury's still out a little bit on them, but if I'll plant something else in that strip soon if nothing comes of them. And the other beetroot over the back here, that's coming away again as well. I reckon if we have a look down here, a little row of radishes, we're starting to see some radishes coming up in that. So they're coming away as well. So radishes always come up quickly, so you always see them before the rest. So the row of beetroot, radishes and peas, so we'll see what happens there. The compost heap, that's ticking along. I should grab the thermometer. I've got a compost thermometer now, and I should grab that and see what's going on in there. But if I stick, well, it's quite warm in there. If I stick my hand in there, there's quite a bit of heat in there. So it's warmer than body temperature, so it's higher than 37.6 or whatever degrees. So that's starting to work quite nicely. That's some lathe shavings on the top, brown. So I'll keep packing that up, get some more greens on top of that, and some more boards for the front. So I've put some slides in on the front of the bins so I can fill the bin right up. The more you get in there, the more heat you get happening and the more composting you get happening. So we're over in the original bed that's pretty much planted out now. So the baby spinach around the outside and the spinach I planted through the middle, that's coming up really nicely. I'll have to thin some of that out perhaps, plant elsewhere, so when I get some other beds going I'll have some more there to plant, or maybe put some into pots and take them into the community store as seedlings. The beetroot is ticking away really nicely around the outside. There are some carrots in the middle here, but I've got to say the one I did with the board as opposed to the one I did with the cardboard, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. The wooden board did a much better job of getting the carrots up and away. I actually took it off earlier because they were showing through quicker. I mean, I will get some carrots out of that, but there's nowhere near as many in there. The rhubarbs still hanging in. It's probably coming into winter, so it's going to slow down anyway, so I've given it a bit of a feed with some fertiliser I had in the shed, which is some NPK, mostly potassium phosphorus, a little bit light on nitrogen, so that'll hopefully give it enough to get going and just hang on through the winter. And this is the carrot patch that I put in under the wooden board, and as you can see, they're ticking away very nicely. Though they'll be starting to harvest in some of those out as baby carrots in no time at all. The row of carrots, you can see they're coming out a little bit hidden by but there is carrots in under there as well. So they're pushing through the mulch. So that row of carrots is up. That was just traditional, and it took probably, I'll have to check my dates, but it was probably a good 4 or 5 days longer to emerge than putting them under the board. So on that, it seems to see, so it would seem that putting them under a board to keep the moisture in works. Probably not quite as effective in the winter time, sorry. So these are turnips, they're going away quite nicely. There's some turnips in here over alongside the carrots as well. So we'll be thinning them out before too long. The beetroot here is hanging in and doing quite nicely as well. These are the lettuces I harvested about 6 leaves off of, and they're ready to probably take a few more off in the next couple of days. The collies are all booming away nicely since I did a little bit of pest control, so you can still see the damage on the outside leaves, but the The inner fresh leaves are pretty good. Not much going on there, and winter time is much less. The cabbage moth's not around anywhere near as much. So the kale's coming away. Spring onions, no sign of spring onion seeds yet, but they'll be a bit slower to come through. These seeds coming up through, they're weed seeds, so as they pop up a little bit bigger, I just pull them out. The spring onions in the basin, doing very well. I now have mint in the pedestal. Got lettuces coming up in the bowl. There's mixed lettuce in there, so there's red and green and all sorts. The chives are doing well. The parsley over here is doing really well. The silver beet that I had actually forgotten about in the seedling pots, that's recovered now, and I think I lost one plant out of all that, so I'm happy with that. A couple of lettuces in there ticking away, and the garlic's going well. The garlic plant I accidentally chopped off when I was pulling the thistles out has come back, and we've got lettuces coming up through here. It's late in the day and we're losing the light, so they're not showing up as well as they could, but there's red and green lettuces coming up all through there. There's a red one there right in the middle of the screen. There's a few of them floating around, so they're coming away. The parsley's now, that's starting to, it was holding back for a while, but now that's starting to green up and do very nicely. The garlic here, I've still only got one through. Hopefully I'll get more than that. I'll be a bit disappointed if I don't, but it won't be the end of the world. And the other garlic seedlings I put in, I've got there. So I'm going to have garlic regardless, but hopefully I'll get a bit more through there as well. So thanks for having a look, and I will catch you all next time.